Okay, where should I sell my digital products? This is a good question. I get it every so often. And as someone that's done $11 million selling digital products, I'm going to show you the one platform that I use and I'm going to show you how to use it. So I don't use Stanstore. I don't use Etsy. I think those platforms are really great if you want to make a little bit of money. But if you're interested in making millions of dollars and running an actual business selling digital products, you can't do it on something like Stanstore or Etsy. And I'll tell you why in a little bit here. For the record, I have no dog in this fight. I love Samcart. That's the platform that I use to sell digital products. I'm going to go into a little bit more. I love Samcart. I've made, like I said, $11 million using their platform. I love the guys there. I've actually been to Samcart's headquarters, but I have no dog in the fight. If a better software than Samcart comes out, as much as I love everybody over there, I'm going to move. I'm doing this to make money. I'm in business to make the most amount of money per person that visits my website. And so right now, Samcart is absolutely doing that for me. So really quick, I want to show you proof of the $11 million. I think that you guys all like to see that. So this is let's pull this up here. This is my Samcart dashboard. You can see here I'm on Samcart. I've done a little over $11 million. I was started with Samcart in 2018, I believe it was. And you can see here, I obviously started figuring out how to sell more and more digital products. Last year we did over $4 million, slightly under $4 million in digital products. And then this year we're about a quarter of the way into the year and we're already at 2 million. So we are well on our way. I think we're going to land somewhat slightly under $10 million in digital product sales this year alone, which is crazy. So Samcart is the platform that I use. I want to tell you why, and it's not the advice that you're thinking. So I'm going to get into sort of like what I hate about Stanstore and why you'll never make a lot of money with Stanstore. I'm also going to get into why you're never going to make a lot of money selling digital products on Etsy. But first, I want to teach you a really important rule that no one teaches you, and it's the number one reason why I make millions of dollars with digital product sales. So you will never see anyone else telling you this, but this is why. So hang on, let me switch back here. This rule is why I make millions of dollars selling digital products, and it directly ties into what platform you should choose to sell your digital products. And that's why I'm teaching it to you right now, because I think it's really important that you learn this. It's called the rule of the 5 1s, or the 5 1s rule. Now, I learned this from my mentor, who learned it from his mentor, who learned it from his mentor, and so on and on. So this is not my rule. This is the rule of any business owner that has made over $1 million a year. So if you're trying to go to run a 7-figure business, to make over $1 million a year selling digital products, you absolutely can. I have a ton of students that do, but they're all following, I shouldn't say a ton. I probably have like around 100, maybe 200 or 300 if I sat there and like actually counted it actively. But still, like a significant chunk of people who are making a lot of money selling digital products. And this is the rules that we're all following. And this applies, by the way, even if you're not selling digital products. This is just the rules to get to a 7-figure business. So you're going to have one product. That's the first rule. There's 5 rules. Rule number 1 is only sell one product. Immediately, you're going to start to see why Etsy doesn't make sense. Immediately, you're going to start to see why Stanstore doesn't make sense. Because if you want to get to 7 figures, one product. Solving one problem. So the one product that you're selling is only solving one problem. Not 6 problems, not 3 problems, not 2, not 10, one problem. The third rule is to one avatar or like niche, target market. There's different words for it, but to one avatar, one ideal client. So you're not going to solve every problem for everybody. You're going to solve one hyper-specific problem for one hyper-specific group of people and sell one product. You are then going to do that on one platform. Basically, you're not going to be selling it over the phone. You're not going to be selling it via webinars. You're not going to be selling it you're going to pick one way, one platform to sell it on. Immediately, that's going to eliminate so much distraction for you. And then number 5, for 1 year. I wish I invented this rule. I didn't. I learned it from my mentor in November of 2019. And by May of 2020, I was running a 7-figure business. So as soon as I started following this rule, again, I wish I had invented it, but as soon as I started following these 5 rules, I blew up. My business blew up. And every student who I can get to do this, I can't get a lot of students to do it because people don't like to be focused. But if every student that I have do this, they hit 7 figures, or they're very much on track for that. Maybe they haven't quite hit it yet, but they're certainly making more money than they were before, and they're well on their way to running a 7-figure business. Now, I'm sharing this very deliberately in a video on where should I sell my digital products because it's directly correlated. Because what I want to do now is talk about, I wrote down a list of all the cons of Etsy and all the cons of Stanstore, and they relate and tie. And now that you understand these 5 rules, you're going to see, oh, maybe this is what I was doing wrong when I was trying to sell on Etsy. Or, oh, maybe this was why my Stanstore wasn't selling me anything. I was getting like $100 a month if I was lucky. So, okay. 3 really big things with Stan cons, right? And again, I'd like to preface this by saying, like I said earlier, I have no dog in the fight. I have nothing. I'm not personally upset with Stan. I'm not personally upset with Etsy. I care about you, the person watching this, and I actually walk the walk. I have tested all the softwares. I am a numbers girl. I am a marketing girl. I have run 1,000 experiments. And when I recommend a software, it's because I personally use it in my business. I want everyone to use it because I want you to make the most amount of money per customer. And you cannot do that with Etsy, and you cannot do that with Stanstore. And let me tell you why. So 3 really big cons, well, really 4 really big cons with Stanstore. The first extremely big con is the way that it's laid out, right? So an average Stanstore has a ton of different options. So you can, in the same page, get a freebie, buy this product, buy that product. It's a little storefront, right? That's immediately helping you break the rules of the 5 ones. And it's overwhelming your customer to where they're unsure about what they're supposed to click next. They don't want to click the wrong thing, and so they don't click anything at all. It's called buyer's fatigue, and I highly recommend you look it up, or decision fatigue. Either way, look it up. Someone who's fatigued, someone who's too many decisions will not make a decision at all, and they will click away. So I'm going to show you what it should look like when someone clicks your link in bio, for example, a little bit later in the video. I want you to kind of see what it would look like for a customer to see it and immediately want to buy. That's the goal. So 1, it's not helping you at all stick to the rule of 5 ones because it's got this big storefront that's overwhelming, and it might not feel overwhelming to you as the store owner, as the person who built it, but who cares? It's overwhelming to the person on the other end of the link, on the other end of the website, and they're clicking away. Second thing, it has super limited customization. I don't care, like from a design, although I am a graphic designer, I don't care what something looks like from a design standpoint. So my background is actually in graphic design, but I care about it from a conversion standpoint, from a, are you going to make more money from it? From a business standpoint, I care about this. And so every Stanstore basically looks the same. Some slight customization, but it essentially looks the same, which is a massive problem when you're trying to stand out, especially when you're selling digital products. If you look like everybody else, no one cares. That's just the honest truth. And that's a massive con with Stanstore. Third thing that I can't decide which one of these cons is the most of a deal breaker for me, because this third one's a massive deal breaker. It's not a funnel. So there's no order bumps, there's no upsells, there's no split testing, there's no checkout flexibility like you need and then Samcart does offer. When you're in the low ticket digital product world, you must build on a software that helps you get the most amount of money per customer. So I teach my students how to take in case you don't know like what an upsell is or order bumps or what all this is, I teach my students to take a $24 order and turn it into a $400 order. You can't do that with Stanstore, but you can do that with Samcart through order bumps, which is, would you like to buy this in addition to your product? Cross sells, upsells, downsells. These are things that funnels have. Samcart's a funnel. It's a conversion funnel, and it's why we get more money per customer. And when you're in the digital product, low ticket world, you have to learn how to get the most amount of money per customer because you're in a game of volume. You want to get as many, not just as many sales as you can per day, but you want to get as much money per customer per sale per day. And you can't do that with Stanstore. You can't. And that's a massive deal breaker for you because when you're in a low ticket business, your profit is in the upsells, your profit is in the downsells, your profit is in the order bumps. And so if you don't have the option to get sophisticated with that, you're saying, okay, I'm going to do all this work. I'm going to build all this traffic. I'm going to build all of this and then not get my profits. It doesn't make sense. Fourth, is no real email integration or automations. I make literally millions of dollars from my email list. And it's because I build systems and I build automations to do this round the clock. They're not complicated systems. They're not overly sophisticated systems, but you need the tools to do this if you want to make real money, right? That's why the name of this video is like, if you want to make real money selling digital products, not a couple $100s here and there. If you want to make real money, having a real business that will actually change your life, your family's life, your friend's life, your employee's life, if you want a real business selling digital products, You have to have proper integrations, proper automations, and Stanstore is just not that robust. You just can't do that. So I'm going to go pause, fix my eyelash because it's a little weird, and then I'm going to resume. So you just stay right there because I'm going to talk about the Etsy. In a second, I'm going to talk about the Etsy cons, and then I'm going to talk about why Samcart. So what I like about it, I'm going to do a demo, okay? Thank God for the ability to pause when you're recording. Okay, Etsy cons. I feel like Stanstore is a nightmare, but I feel like Etsy's even more of a nightmare. Here's why. It's frightening. You do not own the customer relationship. So what does that mean? That means you don't get full, if you try to sell your products on Etsy, you do not get full access to the buyer's emails or customer data. Etsy owns it. So you can't remarket to your customers. That alone should be a obvious deal breaker for you because again, with the low ticket business, with the digital product business, most of our profit comes from repeat customers. Most of our profit comes from being able to remarket to them over and over again. And if you are not getting full access to that, it's not worth it at all. Not only that, massive con number 2, it's an extremely competitive marketplace, even worse than Stanstore. You're competing against thousands of other listings, often on price. And you can't really do much to like build your brand on Etsy, which is, again, not the game you want to be playing. Not only that, on top of that, the fees stack up. Listing fees, transaction fees, processing fees. It eats into your already extremely thin profit margins. You're already having tiny profit margins, but it's unsustainable in my opinion, especially at volume. Again, 4, you can't run order upsells, bumps, so you don't have those funnels or like sales strategies that are really important. You can't even direct people. This is how crazy it is. You can't even direct people to another product post-purchase. All things you can do on Samcart. And then finally, number 5 is you're setting your business up for platform dependency, which is really scary. Etsy has rules, Etsy has policies, Etsy has algorithms, and it can shut you down or hide your listing at any time. So I'm obviously a big fan of not selling your product on Etsy, not selling your product on Stan. I very faithfully have used Samcart for a really long time. I like that you can keep all the money you make. They do not charge you. This is what for me as a big business. And for you, if you are like, I'm going to grow a big business, they charge you just a monthly rate. It's a very reasonable flat monthly rate. And it's not like a lot of the software I use as I grow, I've had to pay them more. And Samcart doesn't do that. I pay Samcart the same amount of money per month as I did when I was making $20,000 a year that I do now that I'm making $10 million a year. I love that. That's such an integrity thing to me. I personally know the people at Samcart and I really like them. But I respect their business model with that. It removes buyer fatigue. I'm going to show you that in a second. You can make a choice to buy one product, which is exactly what we need for our rule of the 5 ones. It converts higher. I'm going to show you that in a second. So the average checkout page converts at 1%. Across the board, ours converts at 5%, meaning we get 5 times the amount of sales as the average sales page does. So if we have 100 people come to our checkout page, we would get 5 sales where the average person would get 1 sale. Stuff like that in a low ticket digital product game, that's make or break stuff right there. And you don't even realize it when you're just like, I'm just trying to figure out where to sell it. But what I'm doing by creating this video is I'm saving you a literal decade worth of headache and the wrong choice and building a business on the wrong platform. And I'm immediately putting more money in your pocket. I'm immediately starting you on the right foot so that later you're not going to have to switch and you're going to be doing it the right way right from the beginning, which is why I'm glad you found this video because I want you to know where to sell your digital products the right way the first time. And then the last thing I love about it, so you get to keep all the money you make, it removes buyer fatigue, it converts higher, they're super high integrity people. I've met them all personally. I really like them. It's also like a drag and drop design. It's really easy. Everything is very intuitive. I'm not super tech savvy. I'm certainly not the brightest bulb in the closet, whatever you call it. I don't even know the phrase. It's just really, really well done. So let me show you one of the pages here. I'm going to go to products. I'm going to go in here. I just want to like show you what this looks like here. So I'm going to go to, let's do Cash Spike here because that's one of our newer ones. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. So you're in Samcart, you click design and share, sales page, and then you edit in the builder. This is what I want to show you as a builder. And by the way, if you want a free trial of Samcart, I got the guys to give me a link to give you guys like a 30-day free trial so you can try this for yourself. It's really easy. All my students love it. All my students rave about it. They have really good product launches. They get really good results from this. And like I said, our pages here, I mean, some of our pages, not all of them, but our average is 5%, which is crazy. Some of our same cart pages convert at 25%, which if you know anything about marketing, you know is freaking insane. So let me show you kind of what this looks like. So it's a really classic build, right? It's okay, add an image, add some text. So over here on the right, you can see you would literally just like, I don't want to like actually mess my page up, but like you would add it. Oh, I don't want it anymore. I delete it. I want to add FAQ section. Perfect. I click the FAQ section. If I want to drag a little launch countdown, I can. If I want to add a little guarantee, I can. If I want to add a testimonial, I can. Like anything you could think of to make a good checkout page, it's here and it's super easy. Like I'll just do one more just to show you. Like it's literally drag and drop. You can change the way it looks. It's just really nice and it's really easy. It's extremely intuitive. And then what I really like is you can optimize for mobile. So in case you don't know what that means, you want to make sure your site, your like little landing page, your checkout page looks really good on mobile, on people's phones as it does on desktop. It has to look good for both. So let me show you though let's just pretend we're on our phone scrolling. So you're scrolling through this. It's a little skinny here, but here's what I want you to see. It goes straight to the checkout page. So let me do this in a little bit of a bigger one. So you're done reading and then it goes straight to the checkout page. This is different than landing pages where you have a lot of text and then you click and it goes to another page as a checkout page. What I would do, for example, in my link in bio, instead of a Stanstore link that will pull up 8 different products and freebies and overwhelm the buyer, or send them to Etsy where you're lost in the Etsy ecosystem, which is nightmarish, just send them directly to your Samcart checkout page. So that is Samcart. I mean, I get asked all the time, where should I host my digital products? Where should I sell my digital products? I've very faithfully used Samcart for about a decade now, and it's a decision I've personally never regretted. It's hard to be, how can you not love a platform when they're making you like literally millions of dollars? The next step is if you have a digital product and you're like, okay, I need to sell it. I created a video that shows you, let me just show it to you. It shows you how to get your first digital product sale in the next 24 hours. So let me show you what this looks like here. Let me go to my channel. I just published it a couple of days ago and people are really appreciating it. People are really liking it. Let me show you here. It's this one here, how to get your first digital product sale in 24 hours. People are literally commenting in this video here that they did it and they got a sale. So I made it 2 days ago. I had a couple of people this morning commenting that they actually got their first sale from this video. So check that out next. I'll see you there.